Hey, what's
Oh,
up?
hey, Barry.
How you guys doing?
Oh, I've been better.
Well, yeah. But you feeling better?
Oh yeah, I'm feeling great.
Good.
Upset about the postponement of the reunion, but it's one of those things.
Well, I had a bunch of things in October and they've all been canceled.
Right.
My son was coming to town because he had a retreat for work here and they canceled that. And this got canceled and two other trips I was working, some work stuff was happening. That all got canceled. I just hope the whole place doesn't get shut down again because I'm getting tired of this. You know, everything being canceled.
Right.
But I think a lot of especially when Ira said he was thinking about not coming, that between him and Mike, I bet that threw Joel over the fence
Right.
about having it. But we could have a New Orleans one. We can all come down there.
Well, it's worse down here than up there. I can tell you that.
Yeah. So how you doing, David?
Okay, I'm just befuddled by, does my image look pretty strange?
No, you look okay.
Okay. What I'm seeing is something somewhat distorted and off center and
Oh, that's Barry.
but,
Now you're off center, but and there's a window on your side, but your face looks okay.
okay. Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty sad that it had to be canceled, but it makes sense to me. I mean, even though I wasn't planning to come, it crossed my mind more than once that, geez, is this a time to be getting together?
It crossed my mind, but I had told him I would do the photography, so I was going to come either anyway. So
Well, the
put my
thing is,
mask on and come. Huh?
4 weeks ago, before Delta strain came out,
Yeah,
it was already, it seemed to be getting better.
I know. The thing that I can't figure out is they keep talking about everybody getting vaccinated, which I think is a really positive thing to do. But we got to get the whole world vaccinated. Because if you got all of America vaccinated and the rest, in the poor countries aren't, the strains are still going to come in because people travel. So we just got to get everybody vaccinated.
Yeah,
But
that's the trick.
so, boy, it's just been raining here like crazy. It's been raining every day. I don't know what's going on. And today the hurricane came through the coast, the East Coast. So it rained hard this morning.
Hmm.
Did you get a lot of rain?
We did here, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why we got it yesterday, or no, actually, I take that back, 2 days ago or so. But yeah, there's actually some people missing, and some people already known dead because of the flooding. And in the community that's about 15, 20 miles from us. But we had nothing here, it's the mountains. It depends on how close you are to the bottom and how close you are to the top and where the river is, I guess. But yeah.
Wow, so it flooded pretty bad if people are missing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Are you froze? Now you're okay. Maybe my internet's gone bad. I don't know.
No, I can hear you just fine, Tom.
Okay.
Dave sounds like he's frozen. David, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
David did freeze for a while because his image froze.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Earlier today when I went to print something that showed that the printer was offline, which might be an indication that my internet is unstable again.
Yeah. You got a new router and stuff, I thought.
Yeah. Who knows? And
Well,
this thing that I'm seeing right now, the image of myself that I'm seeing it's not. It's like it's sort of compressed top to bottom, and then my head is about 3 feet wide, left to right.
I don't know what you're seeing and what I'm seeing, you're fine.
Uh,
Yeah, what I'm seeing is what I usually see from you.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah, for better or for
I
worse.
mean, I can take a screenshot and send it to you so you can see that you're okay.
That's all right. I'll check it on the next call that I'm on, but it's unfortunate. This makes me think that my computer is showing its age. I mean, it's probably, I guess it's the camera. Maybe if I disconnect it, oh well, no big deal.
I don't know, is the camera built into your computer or is it a separate camera?
Yeah, it's built into the computer. So,
I don't know. I mean, as long as it works, as long as we can talk to you,
yeah,
because, we miss you if we don't see you.
you know that when I started reading Mike's letter, geez, I thought somebody died or that he had gotten COVID, bad or something. But I guess
Well, all the people that I saw write in, what made me think was I got to try to add them to our list because there were a lot of people that wrote notes in, about they were sad they weren't coming and stuff. And most of them weren't on my Zoom list.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah, so maybe some more people. Well, that's a good list. I didn't know about that list, but I'm going to try next week and do that just to see who else will join because it would be nice to have a few more people.
That's right.
Because Ira calls it Ira will show up about 5:45, 5:30, and the only real low people are Barry, David, Billy, and Pete shows up most of the time. Okay, here comes Billy Blank.
Jim shows up all the time.
Yeah, Gim is great. I'm sure Gim is disappointed because he'd worked pretty hard on this whole thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy.
Hello, I'm getting there. Hold on. Let me start my video.
Hey,
There you are.
hey,
Hey
Bill,
there. Y'all can hear me okay?
yeah, you sound good.
see you, hear you.
All righty.
Does David look okay to you? Because he's having problems at his computer.
Yeah, he's a little bit far to the left of the screen.
There's something happening there. I don't know, because I'm actually sitting slightly to the right of my computer.
Oh, that's okay. Well, it's a mirror image anyway. So
Got a great picture of your kitchen.
yeah, we do.
Talking about the cancellation of the reunion, one thing that occurred to me kind of after the fact, Bill, was that, it is probably safest, since you're taking care of your father-in-law and all.
Yeah, it was going to be a stretch because it's not just my father-in-law. Well, I've never even left Bonnie alone with him by herself for one day, much less 7 days.
Yeah,
And then also my son-in-law is out of town 20 days a month, and I'm usually up first with the grandkids. If Lauren
Yeah.
needs anything, I mean, everybody could have filled in. They told me they would
Yeah.
help out, but it's better actually for me not to be gone 7 days.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I was looking forward to it. Billy and I were gonna have a good time. We were gonna
Yeah. We were gonna
drive up there, share a
head up
room.
the coast, stop at all the titty bars on the way there.
That's
and-
right.
Yeah.
I already had $1,500 $1 bills.
That's right. I brought a bag of quarters.
That's when I knew my oldest son was a pretty smart businessman. He went to he saw Barry down in New Orleans, but it was
Y'all froze on me here. Let's see.
it was a bachelor party, and they all went to a titty bar on Bourbon Street, and Elliot brought like $1,000 worth of $1 bills. So everybody could cash in with him. Because what he said were that the little machines there charged you a whole lot of money to get change.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't really, I have a big change jug that I always drop change from my pocket in. But over the past year with the pandemic, I've been just using my credit card almost every single time. So I rarely have any change to put in it.
Yeah, today I found, going to banks, the banks around us are closing.
Yeah.
They'll have, Bank of America has less places to go, because I used to, I would get, if I had a small job that paid like $400 or so, but I knew they weren't going to send me a tax thing, I'd go and cash the check. But now it's almost like impossible.
There's just like a little donut shop I like to go to get the kids their stuff on Sundays. And they always have a sign up, they prefer cash. So,
Well,
But
that's,
usually I let 'em-
this is probably
usually
because
I-
they spend like 6% on credit card fees.
yeah, well, I usually let them keep the change anyway. I rarely say, give me 87 cents or something. So it's,
Yeah,
but but I used to always keep quarters around in particular because I'd have jobs downtown. And if I didn't want to park in a
yeah.
garage, but although you could use your credit cards down there too,
Well, in Washington, up until about 10 years ago, before that, parking was cash. You couldn't even use a credit card in it. I thought, man, that's a big business. That's a lot of cash.
yeah. Yeah, if you max out the meters in New Orleans, I think it's $6 and it gets you a couple hours,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I've been
So-
using the parking app. Do you have one of those?
No.
Well, there's a parking, all the meters in DC now, in Baltimore, and kind of all over around here, there's a number on them. You pull up your app, you put that number in, it tells you the maximum time you can park, it gives you a price, it charges you 40 cents to use the app.
Oh,
But then you can go into a building and, 2 hours later, if it's a 2-hour meter, you pull it up on your phone and you can see, oh, I got 10 minutes left, and you can redo it again and you never get a ticket.
oh,
I
that's
haven't had a
good.
ticket in years, which is great because I used to have a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, the meter maids in New Orleans are mean.
Yeah,
They really are.
lovely
They'll just-
Rita.
If they see
Lovely
you getting
Rita's
close-
not so lovely.
If they see you getting close, they'll just hang out, not go away until you time's up,
And in DC, if you didn't pay that ticket, a couple months later, that you'd be out there and parking and they just tow you or put a boot on it.
Really? Wow, that's
It was
nasty.
tough.
Well, Barry, I hadn't heard you yet. You're okay? I know you're disappointed with the
I'm
cancellation.
very
like we all are.
disappointed, very disappointed and sad, but
Yeah,
c'est la vie.
yeah.
Did you play
And
this
they-
week?
I did.
How was the crowds this week?
Well, the first set, we did 3 sets. The first set was slow, half full. Then the second 2 sets were packed. The place got packed. And y'all know the place. I mean, it's a small place,
Yeah.
but when it's packed, I'm talking about all the seats, the bar, and then standing room at the bar. We get, 120 people in there, and that's what we got the last 2 sets.
Oh, it's wonderful that y'all getting that much interest down there. Of course, I don't know what other, I haven't been down the street in such a long time. I don't even know what places are playing live music right now down there.
I don't know either. I don't, I mean, I work on Bourbon Street, but I don't walk it. I walk a half a block.
Yeah, so it probably just attracts people that are walking down the street. They see all the places with the strip shows, and I hate to say you've seen one, you've seen them all, but that's probably about it. So
I know,
it's
over at Base on Bourbon, which is Bourbon and St. Peter,
yeah.
Danny's working there, and they're doing pretty good.
Mhm.
And
Good.
I know that down by, next to Arno's, that park, Legends Park, they got a group there, and they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Well, everything was looking so good for September, October with the French Quarter Fest and the Jazz Fest and everything else, and they started dominoes.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, it all went to hell.
Yeah. And you still got, and you still have Louisiana's so weird. I mean, because even though the Attorney General's trying to lean on the Saints because they were insisting that people wear masks to the Superdome, and they didn't want to give them refunds if they didn't want to wear a mask or get vaccinated. And so it turns out there's only about 120 people that were even wanting a refund. And so the Saints said, okay, if you get your refund though, we're gonna put the season ticket back in the hopper. The next person that's waiting for a season ticket gets it, you know? And there's like some people have been waiting for 2 or 3 years to get a season ticket to the Saints games. So they're snapping them up, you know, so.
Yeah, I
And,
bet.
and then you got the legislature is getting on New Orleans' ass because of Cantrell mandating all the vaccinations and stuff. They don't want to free up any money for the Armstrong Park, for the Superdome, for all the stuff they're supposed to be doing because they're trying to get it Cantrell for the vaccination policies.
We'll say,
Hey,
Mike,
Hey, Mike.
how y'all doing?
Good. How are
Doing
you?
well.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, hello.
Howdy.
Everybody survived the last week or so?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So David had a close call with the weather, huh, Dave?
Yeah, it really was amazing. The most we've seen, but like I mentioned to Tom and Barry, that some people in a, excuse me, in a neighboring community, some lives were lost, some people are still missing, but the flooding was something else.
Wow.
Thankfully for us,
You're
everything
okay.
was good.
You're all right?
Yeah, our area was good. We saw, maybe 2 inches, and this community that we're in, it's there's no high mountains real close.
Oh, okay.
So but
Yeah, it's
one
one
of
thing when
the
you-
rivers that was flooding, is like 5 miles away from us, but yeah, it's just people I think that were
Where are
Within,
you located, in North Carolina, David? Where?
about 25 miles west of Asheville. About
Okay,
about 45 minutes from Gatlinburg.
Okay.
beautiful area, beautiful.
Nice area. Yeah.
We'll have our party at your house next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna have to. Bonnie and I are gonna one of these days go back up out east because we haven't seen the entire DC area. When we went for our 40th anniversary, we stayed with Tom and Emily, and but it was right after that earthquake, and so the Washington Monument was closed. The reflecting pool was drained. The cathedral was closed. I mean, we didn't get to see Mount Vernon or Annapolis either. So I told Tom, since they're still stuck up there in DC, if they don't get out of there soon, we're going to come visit them again. We'll
you
see
go.
we'll see you on the way because I'm going to drive next time. I'm not going to fly. I'm going to drive up there. Bonnie's always wanted to see the Biltmore and the gardens there. So well, that's about halfway to Tom, so we can
Yeah.
go there first. Yeah.
Yeah, David's house is nice. It's I had a good time visiting. Yeah, we're stuck up here because everywhere I want to go between where my kids live in California, I mean, that place is burning down and no water. And
Yeah.
I'd love to be in New Orleans, but between the COVID and the hurricanes, that doesn't look like a great place to end up at right now. So
Well, there's nothing's under lockdown. There's people still going to restaurants, plays, movies, going
Yeah,
to see
but
music.
my wife is under lockdown.
Yeah.
Wow. But New Orleans or Louisiana itself is like number 2 or 3 for new cases, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, it's up there because you have New Orleans and then you have the rest of Louisiana. It's like the rest of them are actually fighting against having to wear masks and getting vaccines. Like I live right across the lake, and then the parents are bitching at the school board for making the kids wear masks to go to school. It's nuts. It's nuts.
It is nuts. It is. It need some sanity needs to break out somewhere, man.
Well, either that, I mean, you hate to say it, but it's going to take about 1,000 kids dying from this stuff before the parents are going to say, geez, maybe we screwed up,
Yeah.
Hey, Rick's coming on.
Hey,
Hey,
Rick.
Rick,
Rick,
Hey, what's
Hey,
up,
Rick.
man? Howdy, howdy.
Good to
what's
see you.
happening in Mississippi?
Nothing. hot as
No.
hell. Must be 600 degrees outside.
It is, it's really, I think
What is
there's like 116-degree heat index or
Heat
something like
index.
that.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah. Same in New Orleans, I'm sure. You know.
Yeah.
It is.
Hey, David, have you had any weather problems from that
Yeah.
storm coming through?
We were talking that, yeah, actually it wasn't when Fred, blew by. It was 2 or 3 days ago. I guess that was still Fred. But
Yeah.
yeah, there was flooding in the area.
I saw that on the
We
news.
were
today.
okay, but 15, 20 miles. Yeah, they were having some lives lost and some people missing and whatnot. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, Tom was telling me the other day that in North Carolina, also the Titanic exhibit, all the ice melted and hurt some people. You'll have
It sank, huh?
a Titanic museum, and I had no
Pigeon
idea.
Forge.
Carolina. Pigeon
Yeah.
Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
I had no idea that there was a Titanic museum in Pigeon Forge.
I
There's
didn't
one,
until the
there's
ice
one in
melted.
Branson too. There's one in Branson also.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
Got the
really?
big old Titanic with the iceberg and everything there. A lot of memorabilia, or whatever you call it, historical stuff came off the Titanic.
Wow.
Did y'all get out in front and sing "Bon Voyage to you, O Titanic, the Queen of the Ocean Blue"?
I mean,
So Mike
yeah,
stood
who
on the
cares?
Mike stood on the very front and spread his arms like that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm king of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember our disaster medley that the band would play. It was fun,
Yeah.
Started with the Hindenburg, the Titanic, and Hot Time in the Old Time Tonight, Chicago burning down. But,
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see that new old picture of the mustache I posted?
Yeah,
That's
from the 60s or 70s, probably early
People walking
70s.
by,
huh?
yeah, it looks like it can be right on the borderline. It looked like a little bit of late 60s wardrobe
Late
there.
60s, early 70s, but
Yeah.
that's one of the first color shots of the exterior I've seen.
Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
I
good
get
picture.
those. I belong to this Facebook group called something like Bourbon Street Memories.
Oh, really? Bourbon
People
Street.
post pictures of all the different clubs and strippers and stuff like that and bands.
Huh.
And that came up on it, that picture. I'd never seen it.
I've
you
never
know,
seen that
so
one
I-
either.
So
Yeah.
I saved that picture and put it out for y'all.
Yeah, it was nice. Thanks, Barry. It was a good.
Yeah. Well, for a while, I mean, there were when Crazy Shirley's was operational, I used to see some mustache band members playing over there too. And
Yeah,
it was-
Freddie Lonzo went down there.
yeah, and this guy
Yeah.
and a guy Phil, a white a trombone player. I think his name was Phil, an older guy. I saw him out at Crazy Shirley's before too.
I don't remember Phil.
Somebody.
Did you see that website closed down? I didn't know about it, but it was for strippers, and they're having problems getting strippers at some of the clubs because they can go online and make money. The website got closed today because the banks wouldn't
Oh my
take
God.
credit cards anymore.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
It was kind of hard
It
to
must-
get the money through the computer and stick it in their G-string though. Huh?
It must be the end times.
It clogs up your iPad,
Yeah, that's right.
What'd you say, Jim? How you doing?
Yeah.
Not too bad, you?
Well, disappointed, but say la vie.
That's the way it goes. We've been debating that for a couple of weeks now. Finally, Connecticut looks like they're gonna have a mask mandate and close up the indoor venues.
Oh,
What is the thing canceled? The reunion canceled?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not surprised, but I'm sorry.
postponed.
How did Jim?
Postponed, not canceled,
Yeah.
not canceled.
Postponed, there you go. Hey, Jim.
Hey,
Well,
Jim.
Howdy.
Oh, Jim.
You can come to New Orleans. Nothing's canceled here except for the big festivals. They probably wouldn't even notice us. They probably wouldn't notice us. They would just think it's a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Two festivals have been canceled. French
All
Quarter Fest.
of them. French
Jazz
Quarter
Fest,
Fest,
yeah.
Jazz Fest, Voodoo Fest. Well, the Voodoo Fest closed out a while back, but the Red Dress Run, and man, I know Rick had his
Voodoo
Red
Fest,
Dress already, and
Yeah. Moku
And,
Fest was canceled today, and what else?
yeah.
Bunch of them.
White Linen Night, Dirty Linen Night, you name it. everything, the running of the bulls, they have that also down in New Orleans, which is kind of fun.
Really?
With the roller girl.
The roller girls have paddles and
Yeah.
horns,
Oh.
and they'll chase you around and swat you on the ass if you're not fast enough, or if you want to get swatted on the ass. Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the roller babes, they're pretty good. You know, in fact, I tried to convince Sonny, the guy who was captain of the Orpheus crew I worked for. I said, you ought to get the roller girls out there in the parade.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate the French Quarter Festivals council. That's my favorite one. I hate that. But,
Fritz is still open, right, Barry?
Yep.
Yeah. How about Antoine's?
Arno's open, but no music.
Oh, really?
I
So
saw
Brennan's-
Arnold's got $2 million from the government.
Who? Arno's?
Yeah.
Well, the
That's
musicians
good.
didn't see any of it.
Well, that's, I was wondering if any of the workers got any of the money, but
They put nothing in the tip jar, huh, Barry? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
no,
Man.
So Brennan's on the national news, and I think they are requiring vaccinations to come in. I'm not sure if it's all the way.
Yeah,
All the
necessary.
places, all the
That's the
places in
latest.
New Orleans.
Yeah, every
Or-
restaurant, everything, you either have a vaccination card or proof that you've been swabbed for the COVID, like
Well,
within
actually,
the
it's
past
the PCR
2 days or something?
test. The
Yeah,
PCR
within the
vaccination.
past week or
and
something.
even at the whatever they call the Superdome now, to get in the
Caesar's
Saints
Dome.
game, you can get shots that day.
These are
You just
salads.
pull over to the side. So it's not going to help it's not going to help the disease, but it sure might get a lot of people to get vaccinated. So
There you go.
This past
Is it-
Wednesday night at Fritzl's, they were checking the cards, the vaccination cards.
Really.
but they're also selling the cards on eBay now for a lot of money.
You can get a shot for free, and so they'll pay big money.
Right. So
Doesn't make
stupid.
any sense, does it, Rick?
I
Country
cannot
codes.
understand why it would be very hard to counterfeit those cards.
No, I don't either.
It's just like, just look at one. There's hardly
Sure.
anything to it, you know?
I got mine on my iPhone now.
Yeah, I got mine on my
Yeah,
phone.
I have mine on that.
If you work indoor and you got like about 100 people lined up out there, you're gonna authenticate each one of those things. You're gonna look at it, see the date on it. They're gonna come on in. Doesn't have pictures, it's just handwritten, and.
That's right.
Ours didn't have any pictures on them. No.
That's what I'm saying.
No, ours is just.
I don't see
really-
why anybody would spend a lot of money for a fake one. If you get anybody, you just copy it with a little white out, you can just put your own stuff in there.
Yeah. It's a good business, Billy. We can make some money.
Why didn't know that?
And we're
I
only
haven't heard of
broadcasting,
white out in a long time. White out.
we're only broadcasting it all over the world. Well, you can do it. Okay, put it in Photoshop. How's that?
There you go.
Oh, white out.
White out.
Jim, you've been using that in the whole schedule for October, right?
That's it, babe. You got it.
Yeah.
How you
That's
doing?
too bad.
Jim, thank you so much for doing everything, man.
Yeah, Jim, thank you a
Well,
lot for doing all that work.
Thank
It
you a
was,
lot.
You and Marty.
well, Marty was really the workhorse because he went out and contacted all the vendors in the hotel and they got the venues and all that. So he was the one that did most of the work, actually.
Is there any thoughts about when it'll be done again?
Well, we don't know. It's all dependent on COVID. When it comes down in the spring, I expect we'll get started again, I hope. But I don't know. I don't know. I asked Joel that question and he refused to deal with it, so.
It just,
Yeah.
who knows? Well,
I
like the
can't
big
imagine
festivals
it
in
come
New
down.
Orleans.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a
Yeah.
true 60 anniversary instead of 59.
Oh, yeah.
Be 60
Okay.
years.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really.
Did you got, I mean, everybody got copies of all the responses I got. Did you read Dalton Diamond's note?
I did.
You ought to, if you haven't, you ought to. It's quite a letter.
I didn't see it. What was it?
There was a long letter about his working in the hospital down in Alabama. You know, Alabama's a mess from a hospital viewpoint. They just can't deal with the cases they got. And he's up to his hocks in dealing with COVID patients. And
Yeah.
and it's a real war cry for everybody to get vaccinated.
Some people won't just, no matter what, they just won't do it.
Well,
It's
let 'em
it's
die.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
let them
Let 'em
die. Let them die. We'll
Let 'em
improve the
die.
race. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
the problem is instead of them dying, they're gonna spread it out to kids and stuff that can't
Well,
even get vaccinated. You know?
Well,
Yeah.
die quickly then.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
And painfully if possible.
Well,
Yeah.
it's really a shame that, you know, it's really striking that we got so many goddamn dumb people in this country. It's really amazing.
It is. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, and you guys raise your hand, you probably got polio shots,
oh, yeah,
You bet.
smallpox,
measles,
all-
Yeah,
smallpox.
that's another thing.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that they don't even give kids smallpox vaccine anymore. How we have the little thing on your arm where you
They
have
don't?
your small, no, that's what they said. You show kid we see one
Well,
of
the
these,
va-
they don't have them
By,
anymore.
by vaccinating people for smallpox, it almost worldwide, almost eliminated the disease.
Yeah.
Yes.
It shows up once in a while in Africa, but that's about it.
Yeah.
It,
But that's
When I was
what
growing
I'm
up, the-
saying.
the
Like
big
none of
thing
my
was- the big
kids,
thing was polio.
none of the kids these days are vaccinated for smallpox. We always have that little slight scar, you know, for where that
sure.
thing fell off of you. That none of the kids these days, you know.
Wow.
That was
Yeah,
the
no, it's-
smallpox, and then there was the diphtheria shots, and then it was the
Absolutely.
Polio vaccine.
then it was the typhoid shots, and then the Sabin vaccine came along, and we had that in addition to the polio shots. We had the Sabin vaccine as well.
Like, I get a flu shot every year. I don't know about y'all.
I
You
do
bet.
too.
You bet.
Um,
And shingles too.
Yes.
I remember being a kid about 10 years old, standing in line to get the sugar cube, which
Yep.
was
Yep.
For
Yeah.
polio,
Yeah.
polio.
Yeah.
polio.
Yes, I do
Yep.
remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that must have been a strange time for parents to worry about their kids getting polio.
Yeah, and I remember a bit when we were in the army, and you know, the sergeant would come in and said, "Okay, line up for your shots," and you didn't have any damn choice about it. You know, some guy would come up with this little gun. Remember the little gun they had, the little
Yeah.
shot the
With
stuff at high,
the air gun, the
stuff
air
the stuff
gun.
at high pressure. You just put it, you give you about 5 at once. Zap, boom, and your arm would come up all these little dots where the vaccine penetrated, and you got. Oh yeah, what are you having today? What are you having today, Private? Well, I'm having the Jungle Series. All right, we'll take this one and zap, bang, and the next thing you know, you got typhoid, you got tetanus, you got malaria, you got everything, and you didn't have any damn choice about it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
don't
didn't
know.
give me-
Vaccines work. They save lives. What's the problem?
Absolutely.
Seatbelts work
I
too,
just-
you know?
I did some cruise ship work down in South America.
Chris.
and we
Hey,
had to
Chris.
get shots.
Hey,
for
guys.
that. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hi,
How you
Chris. Howdy.
I'm down in North
Yeah.
Carolina
Oh, boy.
at the
David's
beach.
right.
Or sort of.
Oh. At the beach. Yeah.
Are you,
so-
are you, are you getting the hurricane now?
No, it's just some rainstorms passing through.
Okay, 'cause
You're
Fred
gonna get it.
Fred came through here yesterday and dumped 5 inches of rain in my yard. So
Lord.
we damn near washed away. But, and Henri is coming through tomorrow. So that'll be great fun.
Yeah.
So it's gonna hit up the Nova Scotia area. Yeah.
Well,
It was
Henri
supposed-
might
Henri
be,
changed- Henri changed course. We were supposed to go out to the end of Long Island and Cape Cod and out there. We weren't supposed to get bothered with it out here in Western Connecticut, but now it's changed. It's come westward. So we're going to get dumped on.
Wow.
Get emergency warnings all over all over the TV.
well,
Jeez.
on hurricanes, if you're on the east side of it, you're going to be better off than if you're on the west side of it. I mean, I'm sorry. If you're on the west side of it, you're better off than if you're on the east side of it.
Yeah, the east side gets the rain. and
The east side
everything.
gets most of the rain. Yeah.
And the wind.
And the wind.
Yeah. But of course, since y'all kind of like, are you a lot of water around your house? Are you close to the ocean or anything?
Well, we're about 10 miles from the Long Island Sound.
Oh, you'd be okay. No, it's just that it does push a lot of water up. If you have any rivers or anything that drain into it,
Oh yeah. Oh, they're
they'll back up because they won't drain.
Well, we after that 5 inches of rain we had yesterday, all the rivers are full, and
Yeah.
we had a lot of flooding. And so, if more rain comes in, it'll be a problem in a lot of places, but not
Yeah.
probably where I am.
Yeah. Well, what the problem is, it's not just the rain going into it. It's just that the river won't drain. If the
That's
water's
right.
pushing in from that's what we get down here a lot. It's
It breaks all over the
hurricane goes
levees.
a certain, if this hurricane goes a certain way and all the rain's coming down, it just have no way to go because it ain't gonna drain.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's a shame. You know, it's a mess. No, y'all don't get them very much up there. So you're gonna, is there a run on the grocery stores for like down here when a hurricane's coming, all of a sudden you go there the next day, you can't find bread, milk, anything. You go to the
You
grocery
buy,
store.
you buy all this
shelves
crap
are
that
wiped out.
you would never eat.
Toilet paper, no toilet paper.
Get
No.
toilet paper, you know. That's mostly perishables, you know, that people will buy because they know the grocery store, if the power goes out. You know.
Oh, must be Nola.
To be quite candid, we could probably eat a month for what I got in the freezer here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, if the power goes out, then do you have a generator?
Yeah, we got a generator too.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah. That's another thing
Yeah,
we
well,
learned
right.
down here is you
Yeah,
don't
well,
put more
it's
in the
not strong enough to
refrigerator.
run the air. It's not strong enough to run the air conditioning, but it'll do everything else.
Yeah.
We had a generator about 15 years ago and I sat around for a couple of years. We had a bit, it was in the middle of the winter, the electricity goes out, I get the generator out, I start it up, I plug the television in, the television blows up.
Was it 220, Tom, instead of 110?
No, I think that it was just a cheap generator that didn't have the right kind of current. I don't know what was going on, but it blew that television like crazy. And after that, my wife just said, "You stop." And I go, "Okay, fine."
Well, some generators put out 220. You have to cut them down or split them off, you know. That might
We
be
had
a
one
part of
after
the problem.
Katrina, you know, we had one after Katrina, ran the refrigerator and a little TV and a little lamp in the kitchen. That was it though.
Hmm.
But it worked.
Well, if you plug directly into the generator, you got to deal with that. But if you plug it into the house, then the house circuit will divide it up where appropriately, you know, so that the stove gets its 220 and your lights get their 110, you know.
Yeah, but don't they make a lot of noise? I mean, don't your neighbors hate it?
Yes. Yes to both questions.
Yeah.
But then again, everybody's probably running generators that can possibly get them, like after Katrina, you know how it was. It was
A
just-
lot of my rich neighbors built the big Generacs that give you 15,000 kilowatts, and
Wow.
that'll power everything. And they're all propane fired. My little runaround gives me 9,000 kilowatts, and that's enough to run the house. But it's outside and it makes all the noise you mentioned. It's noisy as hell.
Yeah. No, we have ours run into the circuit breaker, but we kill all the 110s. You know, we just we have it, all the 220s. We don't run like the AC and all that. We just run 4 fans, you know, and don't do the toaster or anything that would draw a lot of current, you know. But
A lot of cooking on your grill outside. I remember doing that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
we do keep
Oh,
it-
yes.
Cook chicken till it was going out of style. We just didn't.
Yeah. I have one of those little camp stoves and I also have a grill, and I keep the tanks full for those, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We run our generator off of propane also. We got a 1,000-gallon tank outside.
Wow.
Yeah, we run heat and the generator and the stove. That's about it. And hot water.
And we got actually we have it tied into the natural gas line, so we can just keep going with it.
Yeah, well,
As-
we
as
haven't
long
got
as
that.
Yeah, no natural gas up
We're too far out for that, man.
there.
We don't have natural gas here. Everything, if you're gonna have gas, it's all propane.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So did you have your tanks in the ground or?
No, mine is, I'm sorry, Mike, what's the answer? I don't know.
Well, I did a thing about emergency preparedness and about the firefighters when they go towards a propane tank. You don't go towards the edges because those can blow off
Really?
and become a bomb. So they spray towards the center.
Oh,
Didn't know that.
Just a little fact if you want to know about, don't stand on the end of a propane tank when it's burning.
Be sure not to do that.
I quit doing that then.
I see a
I'll
propane tank
stop
that's
now.
burning. I'm not going to be trying to put it out.
no, I'm gonna be on the other way as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a feet don't fail me now kind of moment.
But I wonder about that in California, because there's a lot, those out in the forest and stuff, wherever they have those homes, they don't have natural gas coming in. They've got propane tanks.
Sure.
Yeah, but a lot of them burned during those fires, I guess. Wow.
Yeah, I don't
A
think I've
little
ever seen.
propane tank blows up pretty good. I'm sure a 1,000-gallon one goes nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big one. Yeah.
We
Anyway,
have to refill it about once a year. We use about somewhere between 400 and 425 gallons is all.
wow. Okay.
That's for the whole year. So it costs us. We don't heat with it normally because we have wood heat. We have log stove. It cost us like $250 last year to heat. So that wasn't too bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, I'd kill for that.
That's kind of what we spend in a month.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know I have a friend who lives up in Missouri, and a couple of years ago, prices are so high that he was paying more for heating oil than he was for a mortgage payment.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, we most of the Northeast uses heating oil. You could start on that a couple of 100 years ago and it never went away. So we have heating oil and we have 550 gallons or 550 gallons. And it's 30, and so when a fill is usually about 500 gallons. And the price is about 30 cents a gallon these days. I remember the days when it was 8 cents a gallon, but now it's about 30. So each one of those, and it happens about 3 times a year. You have to fill it up. So that's $5,000. We're not talking 250 to heat the house. We're talking like 4,500.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bitch. It really is.
Wow.
How much is it per gallon?
About 30 cents.
30 cents?
That's
I'm
only.
sorry, I got that wrong. It's
Like $3.
it's about $3 and something. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so 30 cents. I think
I got the
it sounds
decimal
like
point.
19. It's not like 1960s there,
Yeah,
Yeah,
because when I left Missouri,
I got records that go back that far. And it's really scary to see how much the money, how much the expenses gone up.
yeah, when I went to college and went to New Orleans and
We used to
leaving
pay
Missouri,
21
it was
cents a gallon
28
for
cents a
gas.
gallon.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I remember
forget-
paying 9 cents. I remember paying 9 cents a gallon for gas in my car.
9 cents?
9 cents?
Oh, yeah, Price Wars. Remember Price Wars? We used to have.
Yep.
I remember a quarter. a gallon.
Yeah, I remember.
Well,
I
yeah,
remember
it used to
20.
be 15, 20,
I think-
15, 20 cents. And if you looked around, you'd always find some guy who was selling it for a
Price
dime.
Wars.
A dime.
Wow.
Wow.
You
I
must
found,
be
I
freaking
think
old.
29 cents is about the cheapest
Well,
I
you gotta-
remember.
You got to remember, I got 10 years on most of you guys. So
You
That's
must be
true.
old.
I mean, I
Not all
remember
of it.
filling up my
I remember
10-gallon
29
Volkswagen tank for
Yeah,
$3.
we better get- Now, I remember when I got my first little car, my Triumph Spitfire, it only had an 8-gallon tank, and it was 29 cents a gallon. The first time I went and filled up my own car, I was like, good Lord, like it's like 8 times 30, like $2.10 or something.
That was a lot of money at the time.
Well, we
Yeah.
used to-
Jared,
in
do
high
you-
school,
do
everybody
you-
chipped
do
in
you
their
remember? Do you remember going to the gas station and asking for $1 worth of regular?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was at least 3 gallons or more.
Yeah,
you
you get 3, 4, 5 gallons maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Chris
I
will
remember
remember this, but Chris
You
will
could cruise
remember
all
this.
night
but
on that.
I used to love it when I was working at the Straw Hat down in New Jersey on Route 22. And there were price wars out there. And I always bring an empty tank down and fill up on whatever the price war price was. And it was very reasonable, as I recall.
I used to stop at a Gulf station down there. It was 19 cents a gallon on the way to the Straw Hat. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked there. Do you remember Mark Lamphere? I worked with him.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he was quite a character.
And they pumped it for you.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Of course.
And washed your windshield and check your tires and everything.
Check your oil.
Check
Check
your
tires.
oil.
Yeah, here's your $2.
Chris put
Okay.
up a great video of that place, him playing there way back when. Y'all
That was
should
a good
check it
video.
out.
That was a great video. You're right.
Great video. I mean, it was
It was
trumpet and drums, which is a little different than what we used, but it was still great. It was the same show.
At the Straw
Well,
Hat.
Oh, we frozen up.
the
Chris, you're in the ice box there, man. You're gone.
player
That happens to me a lot here too.
by
I don't know.
name
Chris, you froze up.
and he's work.
Whatever
That's
you
okay. I
just
just
said,
wanted to make, yeah, I wanted to make sure that I checked in to see you guys. I know that there's been all of this talk about the reunion and whatnot, so I just wanted to make sure I checked in and said hello to everybody and let you all know that I'll be missing you guys. I thought we were going to get together here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
it's sad.
We will. It's just a matter of time.
here's Ira.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I think it's the right move too.
Well, everybody that's responded has been, said they were grateful that they didn't have to make that decision.
yeah.
I wasn't gonna make my decision till early October anyway.
Right. I'll wait it out and see what happened, but you know, it's a good decision. And
Yeah.
don't put it, no, we don't want to go to with masks on our face and stuff like that. So,
Well, over your face would be good.
thank you. Thank you.
Well, one of the big
Yeah.
worries at the end was the audience. And if you have a mask mandate or a vaccination requirement, then who's going to show up? Because our audience is the old crowd, remember? So it's a matter of losing a good piece of the audience, and the audience is what's going to pay for your guys' rent at the hotel. So it's a matter, we needed an audience. We couldn't play for a half full. We needed a crowd.
Even if they're vaccinated, you could still catch it, because just today I got retested and I'm negative. But I had it for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Wow.
So you just don't know,
that's right.
you know? You don't know.
Yeah. Did
You
you
were
get to feeling
vaccinated.
really? Yeah. Did you get to feeling really bad, Ira?
What's that?
Did you get to feeling really bad or?
For about 4 or 5 days, my chest was killing me,
Oh, really?
but
You
I was
been-
home. I was
you
home.
been-
That's the thing.
You had been vaccinated, right?
Oh, yeah. I was vaccinated
okay.
in December. Remember, I
That's
live
why
in
you-
Florida.
Good.
So, yeah, I'm over it now. And what's funny is my wife didn't catch it. She tested negative 3 times while I was positive.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so you just don't know. You know, everybody in the audience could be vaccinated and wearing masks. You could catch it, or you could give it. So I think
Yep.
it was the right move.
Yeah, this Delta thing seems to be able to infect a vaccinated person, and the vaccinated person either gets very mild symptoms or none at all, and then you go and spread it. That's the problem. That's
Yeah,
what Billy
that
was
is the
pointing out
problem.
earlier.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
Yeah. Well, Barry got it, and then Dottie was positive also, but she didn't have any symptoms. You know, Barry.
None,
said.
right? None, Barry?
Yeah, that's what happened. She didn't get any symptoms at all, but I had symptoms similar to you.
Yeah. Every time I coughed, I thought my chest was going to explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I didn't have a headache or fever. I had no fever, nothing.
I had a headache, but no fever.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so you're supposed to get the third shot now after 8 months. And
Yeah. I'll do it
in
at the end of
October is going to
September.
be like 8 months for a lot of us because we're all older.
Now, somebody said today they heard from a doctor that if you had the virus and got rid of it, you don't need the third shot, but I don't buy that.
No,
I'm getting the booster.
I'm getting it. I don't think it
Whenever
could
I
hurt
can.
you.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt you.
It's gonna be like getting your flu shot every year, you know?
Yeah, I think we're going to get it every year, Mike. I think it's going to be an annual thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
that
And I'm
doesn't
fine
bother-
with that.
You're
I'm
right.
good with that.
Yeah,
You're
I am
right.
too.
well, that's what Dr. Fauci says, so I think you're both right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it keeps going and they still have all those anti-maskers, maybe they'll start dying off by attrition. 'Cause it's just like,
What they say, they're going to hit 70 or 80% herd immunity and then it'll go away. I don't know if I believe that either.
Not
But
this stuff.
it's-
They say it's really, I read an article about it and they said it's not only like 1,000 times more contagious, but that, I mean, 1,000 times more of the virus is in your air passages, but they said it has a sticky quality to it, that it doesn't, it just tends to grab hold a lot more viciously. I'm
Barry,
just
your
worried because I
microphone's
know Barry's got his grandkids too, and I got grandkids, and I got another one coming in 2 weeks, and I sure don't want to be in a position to give it around, spread it
No,
Yeah.
around.
really.
No, absolutely right.
That's why I'm not going back to school now to sub. Not in Florida. No way. They got so many kids quarantined in this state and school because of our stupid ass governor.
And that's,
Oh.
that's calling him, that's putting it nicely to by him, right?
I really can't figure him out. I really can't figure him out. He's not a dumb guy. He's a very smart guy. He's a decorated military officer, and he's a graduate of, I think it's Vanderbilt and no, Yale. He's a graduate of Yale and Harvard Law School. So he's not dumb. So he's doing what he's doing here for a
I think
reason.
he's running
And
for president.
It must
He's
be
running for
simply
president.
to
He knows
appeal
he can
I
lock
don't
up
think
that
he's too bright if he's not listening to scientists. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but the people that vote for Trump don't listen to scientists.
Correct. There you go.
that's
He's in the
not-
same group.
So he's
That's
trying to go for,
He's
I
playing
think
for
he's
that.
trying to go for the Trump vote.
And
That's
I think
right.
that
You
might
can
go
be very-
against them, but who
You
knows?
can be very smart and not have any morals whatsoever.
Correct.
You know?
Right. And when they say you're smart, you're not smart about everything in the world,
True.
you know?
No, it's sad.
It is.
Well, Louisiana has a lot of politicians like that. Thank God we have a governor that at least is trying.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna-
to bay.
Hey, they don't always make the right decisions.
Your Senator Kennedy's another one that makes me.
Oh yeah, he went to Yale, but he didn't even
And
used
Harvard
to
Law
speak.
School and Oxford, for God's
Oh,
sake.
Oh, Gomer went,
didn't
And he
even-
does this country act just to appeal to the folks at home and keep them elected. It's,
Yeah.
I swear.
That's-
Brains
my
isn't
district.
entering into equation now. It's all politics. It's all, I want to win my election next year or in 2 years.
that's all,
Yeah.
that's
But
what
you-
it boils
That's what
down
it
to.
is.
But what does
How
it take
could you
to get
rule
it?
against a school wanting a mask mandate? Is it going to hurt? The kids don't care.
Yeah, they'll do what they're told, you know.
Oh, yeah, they'll do it. They don't care.
The
Exactly.
teachers will wear it if they're smart. I'm sure they all are.
I know in New Jersey,
my
I just
teacher
heard
friends are
Governor
freaked
Murphy's
out.
going to make a mask mandate for teachers. Or vaccinate. You got to be vaccinated,
That's right. That's
which I
right.
agree with.
I do too.
I agree with that.
I feel sorry for the nurses.
Anybody that has to deal with people, a great deal of many people, like children for teachers and like sick people for medical people.
Meanwhile,
should-
tomorrow
they should be
they're having a
vaccinated.
giant concert in Central Park.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, my God.
Really?
Yeah, I guess they're all coming from Sturgis. I mean, I don't know. There's supposed to be a lot of people in Central Park.
You gotta be. kidding.
Darwinism at work.
That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
All right, see you guys next week.
Okay, Chris,
Take
thanks
care.
for stopping
Okay,
by.
Chris.
Be well, Chris.
Be safe, Chris. Cook some good food.
Chris is on vacation.
Evidently.
He's in North Carolina, he said.
He wanted to get out to North Carolina where the storms are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does it look like y'all going to take a direct hit, Gim?
I don't think it's going to be direct. I think we're going to be on the west side of it, but it's going to dump a lot of rain.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, we're getting these interruptions on the TV and interruptions on the internet for emergency warnings for floods and emergency warnings for wind and batten down and get your emergency plan in place and all that kind of stuff. So,
Is it gonna go
Where's
through
it
Boston?
supposed to hit?
sorry.
Where is it supposed to hit?
Well, it's supposed to come up through Eastern Connecticut, Long Island. It's supposed to hit the Cape.
Oh,
Yesterday, the forecast was it's going to go right over the end of Long Island and up Cape Cod and the islands that way, and dump some stuff on Boston and wind up on the coast of Maine. But the forecast now is to move it a lot farther west than it was. So that's why it's coming our way.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, at least New Orleans is getting spared, right, Bear? You guys always get this shit.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah, usually we get it, but they're going other ways, you know. Fred
Fred
went,
went another way.
Fred
Grace
went
went
to
another way.
Florida. Grace is going to Mexico, so
Yeah,
we're doing all right right now.
Didn't you
Yeah.
get anything? Didn't you get anything from Fred? I thought that was far enough west.
No,
No,
nothing.
Fred didn't
Nothing.
get out of
Fred was
Florida.
east.
It went
Yeah,
over
Panama
the
City.
went
Panama
over the
City.
panhandle of Florida, but doesn't that affect you? If it, on the
No,
west?
no, as
No.
as long as we're on the west side of it, we're okay. You only have to be about 10 miles west of a hurricane and you're not suffering, you know, from
Really?
the wind and all that. Yeah. All the bad stuff is just to the east of it.
Yeah.
Like when Katrina came through, it wasn't the actual wind and all that that damaged New Orleans. It was after it went past the tidal surge that came in and the levees just failed. You know, I remember because I had evacuated, and I remember watching the mayor talking about, gee, we dodged a bullet, and the next thing you hear that night, like when the 17th Street Canal levee failed,
Oh,
all Lake Pontchartrain dumped into the city. You know,
Oof.
yeah.
Of course,
It
with
wasn't
me,
even
it was the wind on Katrina that got me. I went right over my
Yeah.
house.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, the wind. You were on the east side of it, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, on the east side of Katrina, it looked like a lawnmower had gone through the pine trees, like over here where I live. I mean, they were just mowed down. I mean, it was just like,
I lost about 20 pines. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
12 of them
Yeah,
in the
3
driveway. That was full
My
of.
father-in-law had 3 pine trees on his house. I had some roof damage, you know, but it was mostly if a tree didn't fall in your house, you were okay where I live. You know?
Mhm. Same here.
Yeah. But on the, but like on the Gulf Coast and up there where you're living, Gim, yeah, the tidal surge is the most damaging thing. You know, with those.
If you're on the coast,
pushes a lot of-
if you're on the coast,
Water, yeah.
Yeah, water. Yeah, because it'll block the rivers from draining, you know, and with all that rain, they got nowhere to go.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Katrina, that, came right through Bay St. Louis. It was just, we went down there not too long after it. Look at my wife's parents' house. Of course, it wasn't there. I mean, anymore. It was just, it was just a mess down there. It was just, it took years to get. Bay St. Louis is booming now. Just prime,
Yeah.
the prime property for another hurricane to come through.
Yeah, yeah. The tidal
But
surge.
it's all different. If you've been down
Yeah.
the Lake Beach Boulevard, it's probably 20, 25 feet higher off than the Gulf water itself. It's just it got all these big concrete levee steps going up.
Yeah.
Well, 25 feet higher. Well, you're going to need every bit of that when the ice,
Oh, yeah.
The Arctic ice melts and the sea level goes up about 15 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saw some where they said they had rain on the summit of Greenland's highest peak. And that's never happened in recorded history. They had like 15 billion gallons of inches of rainfall or something like that in Greenland because all the melting
Yeah.
stuff. Then it was actually raining and melting on the peak of their whatever that some kind of weather station up there.
Yeah. That's a hell of a lot of fresh water up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you can break off
Yeah.
a big chunk of it and send it to California.
That's the
You're in
weird.
bad
That's the
shape.
weird. That's the weird thing. I mean, there's places in this country that are underwater, and there's other places that are dry as bone. It's really
The
weird.
western part is dry.
California's burning up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
No.
can't buy rain out there.
Northern California. It's not going down to, I don't think, by LA or anything yet.
Yeah.
you're
Anything
talking about
hap-
getting warmer. I just talked to my sister Susie up in Colorado, and it's snowing on the passes up there right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
Berthoud Pass.
On
Got snowed.
Berthoud Pass, it snowed last night.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. That's something I don't think I'll be saying late soon.
Yeah, no.
I'm not gonna see
You don't
it.
have a snow blower? Billy?
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't used my snow blower in like ever.
Yeah, they get. I remember I worked at Yellowstone Park back in the summer of '67, and 4th of July we had about 2 feet of snow, And by that afternoon, it all melted. We were back in shorts.
Wow.
Strange.
Yeah.
But
We're getting assessed like $350 a year now because they're building new sewers to handle all the water that's coming up here.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people's basements are getting flooded.
sure.
wow.
Well, the things are changing around, like New Orleans is becoming almost tropical, with all the rain we're getting, and the heat and such.
Was it like 60 some odd inches of rain so far, 60, 70 inches of
Oh,
rain.
well, yeah, it's over 5 feet of rain this year.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
So,
that's a
That,
lot.
that was several months ago. It was like that.
yeah. It's been a little bit drier these last couple of weeks, but we're expecting more.
I lived in when was I there? 73, Barry? I got to New Orleans in 73. It rained every day I was there. I was there 73 and 74.
Yeah.
It always rained in New Orleans.
Mhm.
Yeah, I bought a motorcycle then and I found out it rained every day.
Yeah. Well, I was there on the West Bank and they closed the bridges on
Yeah, he's having a good time,
all the way
Tom.
from Texas to Mississippi.
He's having a great time.
Because of ice in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
had to
yeah,
take a ferry across.
that happened one Christmas. I remember because I had learned how to drive in ice because I lived in Texas for a while where it had a lot of that black ice on the road.
Yep.
And I left work one day and people were like skidding out of the parking lot like sideways, and I had to get like about 20 people's cars out of the parking lot to the street because they had no idea how to drive on ice.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You don't want to drive in New Orleans in the freezing rain because nobody knows what to do. Yeah.
Very sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tom, you're talking about when it wasn't about getting a motorcycle in New Orleans when it's not raining, you got love bugs in your teeth.
Oh, we have them down here in Florida, Bill.
I can't
Love
imagine driving
bugs.
a motorcycle around New Orleans. Good Lord. And they have these things across the lake now. They're called midges. Since they've had so much rain, they're like they look a little bit like mosquitoes, but they're not. And there's thousands of them. You can't drive across the causeway at certain times of the day or the night without having to wash your car as soon as you get off the causeway. It's like, and it smells like fish food. I mean, it's horrible. And it's
Well,
like
they
rain.
bigger than mosquitoes.
It's like rain. They're about the same size. They're a little bit bigger than gnats. And you have to wash it off right away or it really stinks,
Oh, Lord.
But with love bugs, you got to get them off because it'll eat into the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I remember
Think,
the
Barry?
love bugs.
Barry, you still at Fritzl's?
Yeah, we had a good night the other night.
Yeah, because I know last week you said you had a quiet night.
I'll be back in a second.
This week, the first set was slow. The second 2 sets were packed.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody
packed.
wearing masks.
Standing
Check
room only in the house.
They got to fill up that tip jar.
Yeah, we filled it up. Yeah.
Hey, Barry, do you still have these plastic shields between you and the audience?
No, they took them down.
That's good.
They
That's
took
good.
them
I read an article in the paper yesterday about how they were probably hurting things rather than helping things because it impacted the air circulation, so that the clusters of these germs would or virus rather would accumulate and infect the people that on either side of it because the air wasn't moving.
Right. Right. No, we took those down, but for instance, if I'm not singing, I wear a mask. You
Good.
know, like anytime an instrumental is called or somebody else is singing it, I'll wear a mask. I wore a mask. But if I was singing the song, I pull my mask off before the song.
Sure.
Everybody in the audience wearing masks, supposedly.
Well, that's hit and miss because they're in there drinking.
Yeah,
Well,
that's hard. Yeah.
You know, they're in there drinking. And so I would say half of them are wearing masks and pulling it down when they take their drink, and half of them are just maskless and drinking their drink.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all of them,
I'll take care of that.
was checked for their card for vaccination.
Oh, really?
Really?
You have to
Huh.
do that in New Orleans now. Yeah.
Are all the clubs doing that now, Barry?
Yes. Not only clubs, restaurants, clubs, sports venues, everything except places of worship.
Now, what happens if you get the shot today and they give you the card? The first shot, does that get you into the restaurant?
You're not
Yes.
fully vaccinated then.
I don't know what
It's
the
gonna be
answer
that,
to that
it'd
is.
be that way at the Superdome for the Saints game. If you've had one, it's okay. You know, you have to have had at least one of the shots.
I think there's a lot of loose ends, Tom, on that whole deal, but at
There
least
are.
they're doing something.
Well, at least they're doing something. And I saw the thing about at the Superdome, you can get in if they'll give you a shot immediately. Well, that doesn't do any
Really?
good for the vaccination.
Really?
But
That's interesting.
that might get a lot of people to get the shot.
That's right.
So it's tough. I mean,
It's
even Fauci, I don't think knows everything about all this. He
doesn't.
keep changing.
Because
Well,
they're learning every day different
Yeah.
things, you know?
Yeah.
science changes as they learn more about
I
it.
mean, we all thought that you get the shot and wow, you're great, you're golden.
No.
Then people
Well,
start getting sick.
It's
little
the way
tarnished.
it's the way the science evolves. They continually do all these studies, and the studies take some time, and then after the studies are completed, they have to do the analysis, and when the analysis comes out, if it's new news, if it's a change in the findings, then they have to go out and issue new guidance,
Yeah.
and that confuses people. And
They're still learning.
It isn't the fact that it's just the fact that they keep doing these studies and keep getting new information, and if you get new information, you might change your mind on these things. And
So the
that's-
only thing that hasn't changed is get a shot, wear a mask, and socially distant. That's been
Right.
steady for the last year and a half.
Right, wash your hands.
There's people that still don't believe in it.
Well, like I was telling y'all last week, before I got the shot, they said, get the shot. They said the shot has a 96% effectiveness. That means you got 4% of getting COVID. That's what they said. And so we all got the shot. Now I did, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, you didn't end up in the
Now-
hospital.
Now it's 80% effective, 20% you get sick.
Yeah.
No, you go into the hospital. 20%, even if you've taken the thing, 20% are still in the hospital. That's a whole way from 6%.
If
Started
there's
at
room in
6.
the hospital, some hospitals have no more beds. I think
It started
Alabama,
at 6% are gonna get sick, period. Now it's 20%, you're gonna go to the hospital, whether you had the vaccine or not.
yeah, well, I'm glad
You
I
had
got the
the
shots.
vaccine. That's a bit, so to talk about science changing,
Yeah.
it changed a whole lot.
But what can you? It's still better to get the shot than not.
Absolutely. Barry and I would have both been in the hospital.
Well, yeah, I would have been in the hospital. I'm glad I got it, but the science certainly changed a whole lot.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
Well, a lot of that change you're just talking about is driven by the Delta virus, which is far
That's
more
right.
infectious and far more vicious than
Yeah.
the previous.
That's right. That's
And
right.
travels
you got
much
a new
faster,
study,
they say,
You got a
too.
new study, you got a new answers, right?
And you know what? They'll come up with some more shit tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that'll be outdated next month.
But it's
Well,
nobody's
if we-
fault. It's
if you
just
got
that
a
they're
new- if we got a
learning.
new va- If you got a new variant, then that's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be.
Yeah, but at least we're in a country that's trying to come up with the answers. We could be in Haiti without any vaccination and
Ugh.
Oh, those poor people.
yeah,
Then you get a hurricane, then you get an earthquake.
yeah.
This is God.
I
Yeah, they're
played
hurt-
a gig last night in a tent,
Really?
and no one was wearing masks out of the tent, but you had to mask up or show your card to go in the building to use the bathroom.
Yeah. Mm.
But it was a fun gig. There was a car show right outside the tent, and here, show you my old car I brought.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
oh,
Nice.
wow.
Wow, what is it? I can't tell from looking at the picture.
It's a '56 Cadillac Fleetwood.
Oh my
Oh,
God, really?
Wow. Look at it.
Low
That's beautiful.
mileage?
Well, 115,000.
That's not bad. Jesus.
That's
Wow.
a fun gig.
That's
Mhm.
nice, yeah.
And we didn't do it, we've done it every year for like 10 years, but last year, no, no gigs last year.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's leaning towards a shutdown. They're just trying to get everybody to get vaccinated and wear masks now.
Right,
And the vaccination rate is going up now,
yes.
you
I
know,
hope so.
which is good.
I wish they would start working to percentages and say idiots versus non-idiot population. What percentage is vaccinated?
There's just a lot of misinformation out there, conflicting story, it's just.
Yep.
You still should get,
I'll
get
back.
vaccinated. You're hedging your bets, if nothing else,
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
And the price is right. The price is right. The government's paying for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
But like what Barry said, I'm worried about the next one.
yeah, I am
There'll
too.
be another variant coming out, yeah.
Well, unless you snuff it at some point by everybody getting vaccinated, so they're not spreading it around because the virus is.
But they knew about variants months and months ago. They didn't know which one, but they said it can mutate. It can mutate. We got to get herd immunity.
Right.
Somebody earlier, I think it was Gibbons, said, and what are you gonna do to this, the whole world? If people travel here, I mean, what we do, if we got 98% of the people in the United States to take the vaccine, that still wouldn't fix it, because you got the whole world.
Yep.
It's cutting the odds down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like
cutting the
Mike
odds
said,
down.
it's just like the flu shot. You're probably gonna have to get a COVID vaccination each year from now on, more than likely.
That doesn't bother me. I don't think it
No,
bothers
no
anybody
big deal.
here.
No
No,
big deal.
I had absolutely no problems with the vaccinations.
None at all.
None.
None at all. I got my 2 pneumonia shots. That's it.
Yeah.
Get the flu shot in like what, October or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. Usually I go in October for mine.
Yeah, I have no problems with that at all.
No. Big deal.
A lot of people do. They don't want to get the flu shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear so many people say, oh, I had the flu shot once and I got sick from it. I got the flu. And I said, I don't think so. Because I've had it every year and knock on wood, I haven't had the flu since I've been taking the flu shot.
No,
Same-
I've
same.
had it every year it's been available.
Mhm. Just continue getting it too.
well, the flu shot every year is a different mix because they got to figure out in advance what flus are going to be a problem.
Right.
There's a
It
various-
changes every year.
Yeah, it changes every year.
Yeah.
And if you
You
guess
know
right,
that last year, the flu wasn't a problem at all.
No,
Because
because
everybody
everybody was-
stayed inside.
everybody was staying home. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Right.
We're all locked down at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
Literally,
Bonnie and I
we didn't-
just pretty much.
We didn't go anywhere for a year and a half, basically,
Right.
Yeah.
I went out today for the first time in 2 weeks to get tested.
I
Been
got
outside.
I got a new car a year ago, October, and a year ago, August, pardon me. And in the last year, I put 2,000 miles on it, and that's all to and from the grocery store.
Yeah.
That's it.
When your kids
Big
are
outing.
trying to
Big
sell it
outing.
20 years from now, they're gonna say, he just used it to go to the grocery store and back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
right. And they'll be right.
Which is partially true, at least for this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Bonnie and I talked about it because for a while we were going to plays. We went and saw a couple plays and went to a movie, went out and eat with some friends, that we knew were vaccinated and stuff. But we're just going to play it tight for a while,
Same
just
here.
if we don't
I'm doing
have to
that.
go somewhere involving a lot of people, we're just not going to do it.
I won't eat indoors now. Luckily in Florida, you can eat outside almost year round, but I'm not going to eat indoors for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
You know,
good.
even though you get COVID and don't go to the hospital, it's not fun having a bad cough or chest congestion. Right, Barry?
That's right.
Yeah, it's just not, so I'll eat outside or I'll eat home. That's all.
Oh, okay. Fellas, I'm gonna have to run.
Okay, Rick, thanks for
Hey,
coming.
everybody,
Speaking
take
of
care.
eating,
Stay safe.
I'll run to you guys.
You're right.
Yeah.
Hi,
See you guys next week.
See you guys later.
Actually,
Yeah. Take care, guys.